It is the popular saying that a healthy society is a wealthy one. On the Great Mind program, medical experts are available to provide solutions to various health challenges. You desire greatness in life. Successful men and women in the society are available on the Great Mind program to reveal to you the secrets to their greatness. The Great Mind of Nancy Oshogbo is a watch for all. Meet me on the program every Sunday between 3:30 and 4 p.m.
Happy Sunday. It is another educative moment with me, Bola Olayodo, on the program The Great Mind. On this episode, we are discussing the forum meeting which held between Osun Health Insurance Agency and the healthcare providers across the state. Among the issues raised at the forum meeting were the sensitization exercise embarked upon by Osun Health Insurance Agency, automaton project, and the ongoing expansion of the scope of Osun Health Insurance Scheme. At the establishment of Osun Health Insurance Scheme, with an enactment, the Osun Health Insurance Agency is scheduled with the responsibility of the universal coverage of all residents in the state, in line with the global practice, which makes access to affordable and quality healthcare services the right of the citizenry, irrespective of one's socio-economic status. In adherence to the primary purpose of its establishment, which is ensuring that all the residents in Osun State have easy access to quality, effective, and affordable healthcare services on equitable basis. Osun Health Insurance Agency is in the culture of organizing quarterly forum meetings with the healthcare providers across local government areas of the state for them to discharge their duties effectively and efficiently to the advantage of the enrollees under Osun Health Insurance Scheme, since the enrollees are being regarded as kings and queens. The first quarter of the forum meeting in the year 2024 held on Friday, January 26, as the chairman, Governing Board, Osun Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Muyiwa Oladimeji, delivered the welcome address. Executive Secretary, Dr. Rasak Akintunde Akindele, analyzed to the healthcare providers the mode of operation of Osun Health Insurance Scheme, while Director, Standard and Quality Assurance urged the healthcare providers to abide with the guiding principles of the scheme.
And this is just uncalled for. A particular hospital collected money for cesarean section, 150,000 from an enrollee, and I wonder if cesarean section is not covered in our package. Of course, I must be fair to the hospital, that money was funded, no doubt. But why in the first place? How on earth in the first place are we going to do that kind of thing? Because as I said, it is discouraging the informal sector driver, which the agency is working assiduously to upscale, to up the game. So we have a list of the things that we can collect, we have a list of the values that we can collect, and then the argument by the provider that it's the difference between what they are collecting in their own facilities from the agency is too wide, and they cannot submit themselves to that kind of protocol. The question is we have an agreement, we have a price list, and in the agreement signed by both parties, it was agreed that we will conform with whatever the agency actually wants. And to that extent, if that is the case, why are we going to be collecting what is not approved by the agency? So even some will be collecting absolute facility. I don't want to mention that they are collected money for light, money for plumber. I know the hospital, and it was put in the claims form that plumbing, water, this amount, light, this amount. So I am now wondering if the hospital is not providing light and water to the patient, why would our patient is very bad? and then we now put another extra cost on the enrollee or the patient that is sick. Or even the mere mention of the money is enough to even make somebody sick, even when are sick in sin with this hardship in the economy. So please, we are happy. All of these things are not helping the agency. And don't forget, if we have a higher number of enrollees, informal sector enrollees, the agency, the providers also benefit from that. Just the same way the pensioners, the years we talked about the pensioners. So if we have, a higher number of enrollees coming into the scheme, they are to also benefit from there. 1 to 3 enrollees will also pitch hospital, and then you get more money, both from capitation and from fee for service. So please, we need to help ourselves so that we won't, have infraction, because at this point, yes, we're talking about that. The agency is now starting to build the beast. We feel we have had enough of about 3, 4 years down the line of operation, and we have romanced ourselves, overlooked a lot of things, and then enforcement and compliance must start in earnest. So if you are not starting enforcement and compliance, then it means that we must conform with our rules and regulations, because we are the regulator, and we will not in any way compromise our responsibility.
As the Executive Secretary of Osun Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Rasaq Akintunde Akindele, repeated the intention of the agency to embark on the sensitization exercise for the enrollees. He also unveiled the plan of the agency on the automation project, with other projects being embarked upon by Osun Health Insurance Agency at ensuring the expansion of the scope of Osun Health Insurance scheme.
So if we are complaining about providers, I know we also have complaints about enrollees. We are going to embark on enrollee enlightenment. But we have to start from our own people first and say, this is what we expect from you. And when they behave like this too, you also have the right to bring to our notice. They have been complaining about you. If you have cases too that you're not comfortable with, you bring to our notice. We'll call the enrollee or call the agency where he or she comes from and educate the enrollee. So having said that, I think I will first start about the situation of things in the country now. We all know the cost of drugs now. And I really don't want to encourage us to get substandard drugs. I know some facilities have NHIS OAS drugs separate from other patients' drug. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Whatever that is going to give your practice a good reputation, please, I beg you in the name of God, that is what you should do. Don't go and get counterfeit drugs, and that will be the one you will be giving to the NHIS OAS enrollee. And you have other drugs that those who pay. We are also paying for these people, and you should know that this is insurance policy. If you have 1,000 enrollee and just 50 came for that month, of course you have 950 enrollee to cater for those ones, and we still give you something. So please let us do whatever that is going to give our practice a good name and good reputation. Having said that, we realize that quite a lot of the services, especially the secondary services, the tariff are not realistic now. We have done a sort of a peer analysis and look at some of these services. And I want to tell you that we have adjusted quite a lot of this tariff to at least cushion the effects of inflation that we have in the country. Very soon, very soon we will send you the list of the new tariff and the services covered. So we have tried to expand our scope so that quite a lot of these elements will be covered. And the more, thank you, even though it's just 1/4 of the hall that clap for us. Thank you very much. So, two things I've said we have done. We have expanded our scope to include some elements. We have also adjusted our tariff to at least cushion the effects of the inflation in town. Now, there's something we are going to do, Dr. Igbalayi mentioned it. We are going to completely automate our system. We want to reduce hard copy transfer of documents. And that is why this meeting is important. Because in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we shall be inviting you again for a training on this automation process. You can be in your facility. Just what you need is a desktop, a laptop, or even your Android and network service. You understand? We will only allow those who are in the rural area, but I doubt if there is any place in Osun State now that you cannot get data, that you cannot get internet service. If MTN doesn't work, Glo will work, Airtel will work, and there are some other ones that you can do. So all what you need is your Android, your laptop, or your desktop, and the internet service. All operations will be done online, so that we reduce the number of visits to the agency. We're going to have Hoshare application on the Google Store, Apple Store, Samsung Store, or whatever, so that you can directly download that app and do whatever they want to do there. The only thing is that we have not started telemedicine, so they are not going to have access to medical care online. They have to physically visit the hospital. But with time, it's a possibility for us to also start telemedicine with time. Now, on your own side, when a patient comes, you can verify the eligibility from your phone online. That, okay, this person is eligible. Because especially the informal sector, even the formal sector, the informal sector, you know, their registration is for a year. And if you are not careful, they register this year, and next year they don't register. If you are not careful, you continue to provide services for them. And that will be at a loss, especially if it is capitated services. If you are going to admit them, you will know that time that they are no more on your list. So you can quickly have a look that is this person eligible for this treatment. And if it's not, you tell them they are not eligible. Actually, I have not registered for this yet. And for the informal sector, once the child register is beyond 18 years, the system will automatically remove that child. So if you don't verify, you will still continue to provide care for that person. So you are going to be able to verify on your phone that this person is eligible for that. And you know the good thing about technology is that you don't need to start searching for, just put the first 2 or 3 letters in the name. It will give you all those people who are bearing that, and you can check on your laptop, on your desktop. Then, if it is a primary provider, as you see the patients as they come, it will automatically be noting them. So at the end of the day, we will not even need you to send us the encounter list. We can generate it ourselves from looking at your facility from our own end. You understand? Then if you're going to admit a patient, the primary person that is referring, maybe you have primary thing alone, primary coverage alone, and you are referring to a primary center, you will be able to automatically generate a code for that patient. And once you apply for the code, the system will send you a pre-authorization code. So unless you cannot get that from the internet, will you have reason to call us? And when you call us, we will automatically generate the code for you. And when you generate the code from the primary center, it ends. Some people will have to refer to themselves. What that means that you have both primary and secondary. So you're going to generate that code and refer to yourself. And when you get to that secondary center, yes, the diagnosis may be wrong, or you may have additional diagnosis from what the primary person has referred to you. Now, there are ways of doing that. If that diagnosis is wrong, you can inform us that this is your own diagnosis. Then we will generate another code for you. If you have additional diagnosis to what the primary person sent to you, you inform us too on your system, and we send additional code for you. Now, your claims management will also be done online. There are some ailments. Yes, I was going through some documents and I say, oh, these are some of the areas where we lose money. If somebody has malaria, we would have inputted in the system what are the investigations you can do for malaria. There are some that we say, okay, it's all encompassing. You do MP, we can allow you to do full blood counts, can do urinalysis. You understand? But by the time you say somebody is coming for malaria and you are doing obstetric ultrasound, immediately you put it there, the system will remove it, unless your diagnosis is malaria in pregnancy, which is possible. So by that, you yourself will be able to see. And when you present the claim, the system will vet it from what we have inputted into the system. Then we will also vet it on our side. And before the payment is made, you will see it yourself. Because once it is vetted, it is sent back to you. So you look at it. If you have any query, you can raise it at that moment before my final approval can be adjusted. You understand? And once it is adjusted, it is sent back to you. No reports in the next 48 hours. You can be sure that in the next 48 hours, your money will be paid. We won't accumulate fee for service. I had to pay quite a lot of fee for service, millions, when I came. And then, because I'm not very comfortable that people have worked and they don't have their money. Also, capitations that were withheld, especially the PHCs, for months and years, have to be paid fully. So we want a system that will make things very easy for you, very easy for us, and you don't have to call anybody unless there is an itch with the internet or anything.
These are the observations of the healthcare providers during the forum meeting.
I want to start on the soft landing by appreciating my colleagues on the table. Very, very grateful for inviting us to this really great meeting. It's a lot of joy. I'm really grateful. Our chairman, in the opening address, said something very, very wonderful, which I agree with, that OEs is a different insurance scheme. It's a different one from the positive angle, and I fully agree with that. So we thank you for our encouragement.
However, I still have concerns about the tariffs. And so much has been mentioned about the economic upturn now and how the whole country is going. In view of that, I also like the agency to look at the issue of tariff, especially for the capitation that is being paid for each of the enrollees. Then the other concerns I have is about the fee for service in view of the notifications. When someone sends a bill and then you don't even know when the money is being paid, you send through the HMOs, and the HMO will tell you that the payment is going to be made directly from the agency. And then you don't have to get back to them. If you've not been paid, contact the agency, don't contact me as the HMO. Whereas I sent my bills, I sent it through the HMO, which is supposed to be like an intermediary. And I know at some point
there are some incidents that, for example, antibiotics, you were supposed to give a particular antibiotics because it is not present. Can you give an alternate antibiotics? Sometimes you do that, and when you submit the bill, it will be flagged. So people say it is not in line with the diagnosis and the rest of it, so it will be a loss to us. Thank you very much.
My question is, in a situation when an enrollee changed to our hospital, the patient just changed to our own hospital, but the name is not on our list yet. And I contacted the HMO to be sure if we can attend to such enrollee, but the response was not direct. She was just telling me the drug is capitated. I only want to know if we can attend to her since our name is not on our list yet. So how do we go about that?
I want to thank the OCR for the negotiation they made on our behalf concerning the PPA. That one has been settled. It has been a concern for some time. And I will be obliged that maybe we put the account number that we are going to pay into the WhatsApp group of the healthcare facilities. Just put the number, the account number can be put there for emphasis. Where we are going to pay for the reaccreditation. Have you get what I'm saying? And also for the payment of the PPA, I would prefer paying through the OIS. So I would prefer paying through the OIS. If other people agree with that, we can pay through the OIS.
The chairman, governing board, Osun Health Insurance Agency, has this to say about the forum meeting.
Or the providers, they will tell us. And some of the things we expect, we have said it here. That's what brings it. And it's going to be a continuous process. This is the first quarter of the year. We're going to have another in the second quarter. And because we are going automatic this year, there will even, apart from this, there will be training sessions.
At the end of the forum meeting, the executive secretary was full of gratitude to the healthcare providers and assured the residents in Osun State the readiness of the agency to work round the clock to meet the universal coverage.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sábàlẹ̀ ètò yìí lédè abínibí wa. Ohun tí a pẹ̀ kẹ́lù lónìí ni ìfikùnlukùn tó wáyé láàrin àjọ ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àti àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tí àjọ náà fòǹtẹ̀ lù láti máa ṣètọ́jú àwọn olùkópa nínú ètò ìjókòó ìlera eléyìí tí ó wáyé lẹ́nu lọ́lọ́ yìí. Òbí tó ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àjọ ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun gbé agbára lé àjọ náà lọ́wọ́ láti rí dájú wípé gbogbo olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ló ní àǹfààní sí ètò ìlera tó péye pẹ̀lú owó péréte láláì fi tipò tẹ́nìyàn wà láwùjọ ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ti ṣe jẹ́ ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé lágbàáyé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera. Ní ìtẹ̀lé ìlànà òfin tó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ àjọ náà ló ṣokùnfà bí àjọ ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti ṣe máa ń ṣe ìpàdé lóòrèkóòrè pẹ̀lú àwọn ìṣẹ́ tí ilé ìwòsàn tí àjọ náà fòǹtẹ̀lù láti máa tọ́jú àwọn olùkópa nínú ètò ìdójútòfò ìlera láti rí dájú pé wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ wọn bí iṣẹ́ àti láti rí dájú pé wọ́n ń ṣe ìtọ́jú àwọn olùkópa náà bí ohun ẹlẹgẹ́ tí kankan kò gbúdọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Ìfikùnlukùn láàrin àjọ ìtòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìwòsàn náà tàkọ́kọ́ rẹ̀ nínú ọdún 2024 ló wáyé lọ́jọ́ Ẹtì ọjọ́ 26 oṣù kínní ọdún 2024 níbi tí alága ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń bójútó àjọ ètòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun dókítà Múyìwá Ọ̀ládìméjì ti sọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni káàbọ̀ tí akọ̀wé àgbà àjọ náà dókítà Rasaki Akíntúndé Akíndélé náà sì sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìlànà gbogbo tí àjọ ètòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní èyí tí dókítà Ṣínà Ìgbàláyé tó jẹ́ adarí ẹ̀ka tó ń rí sí ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé náà sì ṣàlàyé fún àwọn olùkópa nínú ìfikùnlukùn náà bó ti ṣe pọn dandan fún wọn sí láti bọ̀wọ̀ fún ìlànà gbogbo tó fi ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ àti láti rí i dájú pé wọ́n ṣe ìtọ́jú àwọn olùkópa nínú ètò ìdókòwò ìlera bó ti ṣe tọ́ àti bó ti ṣe yẹ. alága ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń ṣàbójútó àjọ ètòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun dókítà Múyìwá Ọ̀ládìméjì sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìfikùnlukùn náà.
torí pé àwa àti àwọn doctors àwọn hospitals kọ̀rọ̀ wa bá yẹra wa àwọn nǹkan míì tí a fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe à ń sọ kaba ní kó bá yé wọn ohun táwọn náà bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ ká ṣe òun la fi ní káwọn náà sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí àwọn náà sọ fún wa so that kò ní sí ìbínú láti ẹni side so that the patients will have the best of our facilities.
akọ̀wé àgbà fún àjọ ètòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun dókítà Rasaki Akíntúndé Akíndélé sísọ lójú àwọn onírúurú àlàkalẹ̀ ètò tí àjọ ètòfò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun gùn lé.
àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tí wọ́n ṣètọ́jú gbogbo àwọn tá a ní kí wọ́n máa forúkọ sílẹ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ máa bá wọn ṣèpàdé lóòrèkóòrè láti mọ ibi tí bàtà ti ń ta wọ́n lẹ́sẹ̀ fún àwọn náà láti lè fún wa ní ìmọ̀ràn pé àkín tó yẹ ká ṣe nìyó tí gbogbo ẹni tó ń gbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí wọ́n fi rí ìwòsàn tó péye eléyìí ni gómìnà wa fẹ́ Senator Jackson Nurudeen Adeleke pé gbogbo ẹni tó ń gbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ní access sí ìlera ọ̀fẹ́ àti ìlera tó péye káàkiri gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.
ìlera ti dé mo ní kẹfà mọ́ra ẹ̀mí gígùn lọ́sàn yà kò sóhun tó pọ̀ jù láti fi wá rà tó bá fẹ́ kára máa jí pépé tọkọtaya kẹ́ máa ta kébé kálàáfíà àwọn ọmọ kó dẹ̀ pé péré kiri ayé yín kó lè wọlé wá ẹ tètè wá forúkọ sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Ọ̀ṣun Health Insurance Scheme OIS.
níbi tí a ó máa fi àdàgbé ètò rọ̀ sí nìyí lónìí ẹ jẹ́ kí a tún jọ pàdé lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ fún àkọ́tún ètò yìí kan náà láṣẹ Olódùmarè ọba àṣẹ̀dá ìjẹ́ tí ìgbà náà ire o.